Okay, so today I want to talk to you about one of the most important things in success of starting a new lawn or renovating a lawn, and that is watering properly. And lawns are definitely one of those areas where the better chances you give it to start and get established, the less maintenance and chemically dependent it'll be later. And watering is pretty much one of the most important steps, and we all mess it up. So let's take a peek at what's going on and how there are a few steps that you can do to try to make sure that you do it right and don't waste water, but give the grass what it really needs to get up and running. Let's take a peek. Okay, so a lot of us, this is what their lawns may be looking like in certain areas. In our particular case, this area, we are underneath some dense trees, and although we do get filtered light in here, these trees are just always competing with the grass for moisture, and it just sucks the moisture out of the ground. Especially, I mean, here, not only is it dense shade, but we kind of sacrifice this area for the boys' trampoline. But it's just powder. Most people aren't really paying attention to how long it's been since we've had rain, and what it takes to and how fast it really dries out. So first of all, talk about duration of watering. These areas, that grass seed, and you can see it in these areas. I've already renovated this area. The grass seed has been spread. I till a little bit into the soil and mix it in, and then we have, I top dress a little bit of grass seed on the surface. But all this grass is just sitting right at the surface. Most people will set up a sprinkler and leave it running for 30-40 minutes. This grass doesn't care about this. This seed is in the top quarter-inch, assuming you've done it properly and you've mixed some into the soil and some on the surface. So all it cares about is the top quarter-inch of soil. In these areas where you've got sun, especially if you're out on Aquidneck Island or any other windy or full sun areas, you can water, and 2 hours later with a stiff breeze and a 65-degree day, and that top half-inch will dry out. You can see this was watered last night, and it's only 10 o'clock and it's already starting to dry out. So if you're that little seed sitting there, it needs moisture in order to germinate. And so when everybody asks, how often do you water? How much do I need to water? I tell everybody, it's only 10 minutes. Just enough to keep the top half-inch wet. And if you have the ability to do it 3-4 times a day, it's however often you need to water it to keep that damp. And you'll get the seed germinating the fastest if you keep that top quarter-inch to half-inch or so. So that's frequent watering, less duration, 5-10 minutes depending on your pressure. And I want to show you the style sprinkler. I prefer, these are called oscillating sprinklers. And so every make and model out there has them, but it just gently goes back and forth. And I find that it gives you good coverage, predictable coverage, but at the same time, it's small droplets, and it's not those little impulse sprinklers that just go around the corner. I find they're just not uniform in how they water. I mean, look at that. That purely looks exactly like it would be coming down in rain. And I'm not looking for pooling. I'm not looking for puddling. I just want to see how dark that soil is. And then as you look at the areas that haven't been watered yet, you can just see it's much lighter. That's what I want. I want it to be nice and dark like that, on and off all day. And these sprinklers are just really good at doing that. So every make and model, they all have versions, but anybody's oscillating sprinkler, I find, is better than the alternatives. And that's it. This is about to shut off. What I don't want to see is this. Where is it? This has only been running for a few minutes. I'm starting to get pooling in a couple spots. That, to me, as soon as I start seeing that, it's time to shut it off. Because the fact that I don't want pooling. What happens is when you pool, you can see the grass seed starts floating. So that means if I have any kind of slope at all, and I water to the point where it starts to pool like that, that seed is going to wash away. And then I'm going to have bare spots afterwards. These areas here, I know it's just, I mean, the root is right there. The only reason this is pooling in these spots is because I'm just so root bound over here. And I know this dense a shade. I did use a dense shade grass seed. I'm not expecting a good looking lawn up here, but with the 2 labs running around up here, I just care that that I can get some grass growing in here for erosion control, and it's all background area. It's not a prime use space, but I'm setting it up to succeed. I mean, we tilled it, we got it all nice and smooth, and we're gonna water it and see if we can at least get something growing in here. I've always had it up here. It just wasn't until we started doing some construction and moving things that, and the 2 labs playing, this is their favorite spot all summer long. And with us being as dry as it is, they just tore this up. So we're reclaiming it. I should be able to get a nice green fuzz out here within a week, as long as we water it properly. Okay, so just to recap, the biggest things is how much duration. How long you need to water depends on your pressure, depends on the sprinkler. Water it enough so that you see that top, it just looks nice and dark and black, and then shut it off. Don't waste any more water. If it's looking nice and saturated, on average, this is no more than 10 minutes per location. And then do it as often as you can. Try to gauge it. If it's a cool day and the air's still and you can get through most of the day without watering, most of us don't have the ability to truly water 3 times a day. But it's just as often as you can. But I guarantee, with us being as dry as we are and no rain in the forecast, you put that grass seed down and don't water, it's gonna take much longer for that seed to germinate. And then it only takes one little thunderstorm to roll through and dump a whole lot of water at once and wash your grass seed away. And then you're starting over again. This is beautiful growing weather. Take the time to do the best you can to water whatever you can, and you're gonna get much better results. Hope that helps. Take care.